Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Could I please get everybody to please stand up for the Australian National Anthem as a gift? We'll hold on one sec.
Should be alright because it's pretty directional. Yeah. Where's it being streamed?
It's on Football Empowerment. I'll lock you share the stream. Yeah, it's on Football Empowerment Facebook page, and then it'll be on all the FNR. So it's like YouTube, Twitch, Twitter.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
Hello and welcome to the African Nations Cup final here between Australia and Uganda.
Uganda was a talented player on the South Sudanese women's team. She was loved by everyone on and off the pitch. She passed away on the 1st of January 2022, and all the women's team have felt her absence immensely this year at the club. As she would be and should share the pitch with us today, we felt the need to remember her in this moment and dedicate this grand finals to her. So can I please get every single person here today to please stand up for the Australian national anthem and to welcome these teams here today.
A minute's silence to remember Chidiac, who was a talented player on the South Sudanese women's team, loved by everyone on and off the pitch. We'll pause now for the Australian national anthem. National anthem of Australia. And now we will pause for the national anthem of their opponents today, Uganda.
Now we're well on the way for the women's grand final, so this is going to be a great game, ladies and gentlemen, so brace yourself for sure.
Yes, it is the African Nations Cup Grand Final, a rematch of last season's decider between Australia and Uganda. Uganda, the reigning champions, Australia looking to go one better this time after losing in extra time in heartbreaking fashion in 2021. The minute silence observed before kick-off was for Chidiac, a talented player on the South Sudanese women's team, loved by everyone on and off the pitch. She passed on the 1st of January this year, and all the women's teams felt her absence immensely this year at the Cup. As she would have and should have shared the pitch with us today, we felt the need to remember her in this moment and dedicate this grand final to her beautiful soul. Really emotional sentiment from both teams today, and you might have seen the Uganda side holding up her number 5 South Sudan jersey. Chidiac, you are missed. It's going to be a fantastic contest today. In the boiling heat, it must be said, but the legions of spectators have taken to the shade. I'm Josh Parish. I'm delighted to announce that joining me today in co-commentary is a 17-time Matilda, midfielder for Melbourne Victory in the A-League Women's, and someone who knows a thing or two about playing in big games, Alex Chidiac.
Thank you very much for welcoming me, and really excited to see this match today.
It's a wonderful day, isn't it? Such a celebration of multicultural Australia. Football Empowerment do an immense job with all the organisational work putting this on each and every year.
Yeah, no, it's an absolutely incredible organisation, and these events are always amazing. I mean, I've been to quite a few of them in the past couple of years, and it's always an incredible atmosphere and some amazing football being played. So I'm very excited for this matchup today.
We'll go through the starting lineups for both teams. Australia in the yellow, Uganda in their white. Confusing colour reversing from last year.
I've got to say, I'm really loving Uganda's shirt this year. It is looking very slick.
Particularly the flag trim on the sleeves is particularly sharp. We'll go through Team Australia to start off with. In goals, number 1, Sophia Alvarenga. At right back, number 2, Anna Duong. Centre backs are number 6, Danny Marshall, and number 11, Emma Turnbull. And left back, number 28, Susan Tong. Midfield 3 comprised of number 7, Christina Souza, number 9, Diana Ramsey, and number 22, Nikki Constantino. The forward line with Linda Sauer, number 19, and Chazil Day, number 5, on the flanks. And number 15, Julia Budiongo, playing up front. Go through the Uganda lineup as well. Number 1, Emanuela Soma. Number 2, Adelaide Osso. Number 5, Andrew Kwon. Number 6, Ian Ania. Number 4, Navleen Cow. Number 8, Gloria Christopher. Number 15, Afika Bahari. Number 10, Arefa Alayari. Number 7, Soliana Hebton. Number 11, Nuria Mohammed Zia. And number 9, Alice Cooper. Both teams taking to the shade for their pre-match huddle, and you can't blame them, Alice.
I would definitely be huddled up in the shade trying to get as much as I can before a match like this.
we are away for the 2022 Women's Grand Final of the African Nations Cup. And Uganda start in possession. Budiongo making that challenge, but it's out for an Australia throw. Team Australia starting in possession, giving it up. Pressure put on high up the field. Uganda have to be careful here. It's well done by the captain. Can't get it past the second line of pressure, and still Australia pressing on those second balls, trying to take advantage of any mistakes. Great pace down the right-hand side. From the fullback, Adelat Otto. Great burst. Both sides with a bit of a nervy start here. You can just see they haven't quite settled on the ball in defence. There's a lot of strikers trying to nip in and capitalise on the mistake, Alex.
Yeah, I think they were trying to just settle in, get a feel for each other. Australia with a few early passes, and yeah, it looks like Uganda's trying to get on the front foot now.
Sophia Alvarenga to take the goal kick. Very experienced NPL Victoria goalkeeper. She gets good purchase on it as well. It's brought down by Constantino. Shazil Day couldn't quite control it. There might have been a couple of late modifications to the starting lineup, Alex. Just trying to get a hold of... he's actually on the pitch for Australia. They might have made a few late changes, maybe some issues in the warm-up.
Yeah, they were warming up a little bit longer than Uganda, stayed out a little bit longer, so maybe there was something that went on, so we'll try and figure out who's on the pitch.
Shazil Day got there. Pass from her left back. Missed the mark. Also going in for the heavy challenge, but neither player giving an inch. It's Diana Ramsey trying to get onto this one. She leaves it for the centre forward. Back to Constantino in midfield. It's Anna Duong. Finds Ramsey again. Been very active early on, offering for the ball. She picks out Shazil Day. Susan Tong on the overlap for Australia. She beat Otto, but covering centre half, comes across to clear it behind for an Australia corner. It looks like Christina Souza will be tasked with the set-piece delivery. Feel for those players on a day like today and this kick-off time. It's a bit like playing in the A-League Women's.
Yeah, basically. I feel for all of them. I'm standing here in the shade, sweating so much, so I can't imagine what it's like out there.
Into the back post. Sawa couldn't control it, and just feeling for a shin pad. No injury there. Well done by Duong. Cleared away by Navleen Kaur. Nuria Mohammed Zia was a bright spark in last year's final. Purposeful run by Otto. Some encouragement from the crowd. Her pass goes astray. Nice header at the base of midfield for Uganda. Flicked on, and now a chance to put some pressure on the centre backs. It's Turnbull heading it away for Australia. We've got a South Sudanese flag in the way. That's all right, that's what this day is all about. National pride for the African community here in Melbourne. Beautiful game of football, and what a touch from Adelaide's Otto. She ends up giving away the throw, but a marvellous piece of skill. Which draws oohs and ahs from the assembled crowd. How's your touch?
Oh, that's incredible. The crowd are really getting into it.
It's great to see so many in attendance for both games here today. This will be followed by the men's grand final. Team Kenya taking on South Sudan. Probably the two best teams in the tournament. In the men's division, these are the two best teams in the women's. Both deserve their place here today. Anna Duong buys the throw in. Australia can't quite get past the Uganda press, despite the efforts of the slide tackle of Christina Souza on a very dry pitch. It's Nuria Zia with the big switch. Here's Silver Bell Morris for Australia. First time layoff. Now the left back gets forward. Susan Tong. Down the line for Day. Tong on the second ball decides to shoot. It just popped up for her nicely there. Just sat for her, and why not have a swing?
Yeah, not bad effort at all.
Always love to see the fullbacks getting forward. It seems to be a feature of Australia's game plan today.
Looks that way.
With Duong and Tong down the
Duong and
oval.
Tong.
Day.
What a pass.
Excellent touch from Susan Tong to get it to her, and corner is awarded. It looks like we have an early substitution here for Uganda. So coming off, it's number 12, Lessa Miabinge. Straight swap up front. Meanwhile, Souza whips it in to the back post. Nice touch in traffic, but she doesn't get it away. And the effort from Linda Sauer straight at the goalkeeper, Emmanuela Soma. Perhaps the goalkeeper could have just taken her 6 seconds.
I think Uganda are pretty keen to get the ball as far away from the goal as possible right now. Australia playing a lot of pressure early on, a couple corners, a few breaks through the midfield.
Ramsey plays the pass back. Hooked forward by Danny Marshall. Now Aniath clears it only as far as Tong. Here's Otto, who's been a bright spark early on. In fact, it's Alice Cooper, I should say. They've switched positions. Souza into Day. Trying to play those 1-2s, those quick little layoffs with the forward players. They can get it to come off, it will be devastating. Zia. Cooper. No way through past Susan Tong, who's probably been the outstanding player on that pitch so far in these early stages.
Yeah, I agree. Going in for absolutely everything.
And we'll have another change here for Uganda. It looks like rolling subs today, which is just as well considering the conditions.
I wish we had that in the A-Leagues.
The next innovation. Half of Australia just overcommits slightly to that, but makes up the ground. That's a heavy challenge, a late one. No card forthcoming from the referee for Andrew Quall. Keep your comments coming through on the Facebook live stream. Maggie's asking, why is Australia playing an African Nations Cup? It's a very good question. I think, from my understanding, the answer is this is a sort of team of the rest of the nations who couldn't get a full squad together. So, sort of an all-star multicultural 11, if you will. So a number of nationalities represented under the Australian flag, which is a lovely touch from Soliana Hebton. It's played in behind. One to chase. Can't make the most of it.
Well defended.
Was well anticipated, the check inside. Maybe just a little telegraph there. Good touch from Sauer. Beats one. Can't get past the second. As Gloria Christopher chases it down. Change coming up for Australia, it looks like. In fact, we're going to a drinks break.
Oh.
There we go. So 15 minutes played. Going to a drinks break at Uganda 0, Australia 0. Your thoughts on the opening stanza of this match, Alex?
Yeah, no, I think Australia are really pushing to try and get that early goal. There's a lot of pressure all over the park. It looks that they're playing with a really high press, and Uganda are struggling to get out of their back third. But when they have, they've had those opportunities. They've got a lot of pace and skill up front. So I think, we'll see how long Australia can maintain a high press, especially in this heat. But I think it's gonna even out in this next 15 or so minutes until the next break.
See, this is where your experience comes into it, because I'd be thinking that the tournament favourites and the reigning champions, Uganda, are a bit under the pump here, but you think it's...
I think there's a possibility for them to get back in it.
Still 0-0, of course, so absolutely anything is possible.
We've got the ice cream truck in attendance.
That might be tempting for us at halftime, if we can sneak away. I want to give a quick shout out to someone who sent us a message earlier in the day. Frank Compton, the head coach of Launceston United in the Women's Super League in Tasmania. Launceston United have a player playing in this game. Number 2, Adilat Otto at right back for Uganda. Be returning to Tasmania for the 2022 season. So shout outs to anyone watching in Launceston. And let us know where you're watching the stream from in the Facebook Live comments. This is also available on YouTube, on the FNR Football Nation Radio YouTube channel, on the FNR Twitch channel, and on Twitter. Stay with us right here on Facebook Live if you want to contribute. Referee calling both teams back out. I don't think either of them are particularly keen to get started again. Such is the heat here.
Looks like a few clouds are rolling in though, so we might see a change.
Yes. Fingers crossed for a cool change. We had some rain forecast for the afternoon as well, which would be a godsend.
Yeah, it would be incredible. The pitch probably needs it. It is a very dry looking pitch.
It's also got a nasty bounce, this pitch, which the goalkeeper from Botswana found out on Sunday. We're here covering the men's semi-finals. And dominated the first 5 minutes, and the way to undo that is to let a long kick from your opposite number, the other goalkeeper, bounce all the way in. Just took a sizable bounce on just around the penalty spot, around the edge of the box there, and looped over the top of him. So
that's a decent kick, though.
It was massive. And Mayan, the South Sudanese goalkeeper, certainly celebrated like he meant it. So gotta watch the bounce on this pitch here at Ralph Reserve, the home of Western Suburbs Soccer Club. Otto. For a goal kick, and Gloria Christopher will be charged with it once again. Plays it short this time to Otto. With a quick ball forward to play a striker in behind. And well defended, you have to say. These two Australian centre-backs, Turnbull and Marshall, seem pretty comfortable, and it was well done by Turnbull there. Susan Tong wins the throw-in once again. But Christina Souza, the player who sets the tempo at the base of the Australian midfield. She gets nutmegged for her trouble. Oohs and ahs from the crowd.
She does not look too happy about that.
Oh, would you be? Nearly sells her centre-back short with the pass as well. And now a chance for Uganda to break. The touch just a little heavy, and Alvarenga will gobble that one up. Lever's played for Heidelberg United in the MPLW here in Victoria. Alvarenga. Ramsey. For Souza. Tries to find Morris. And a well-weighted ball in behind, and the keeper hasn't come out here, and it's a big chance for Australia now. Save the rebound, and it's in! Australia take the lead in the Women's Grand Final here at the African Nations Cup. And the scorer is Linda Sauer. Australia 1, Uganda 0.
You got to say that was coming. They were pressuring non-stop throughout the first 15, and they came out really strong after the drinks break. And it's no surprise they've got a goal.
To say the hesitancy of Emanuela Soma, the Ugandan goalkeeper, to come off her line there has perhaps cost them.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, how important is a sweeper keeper these days who can defend that space behind the high line, Alex?
No, it's very important. I always want my keeper to come out and be confident to pick up those balls in behind. And even on the rebound, really well done to follow in for that, because lots of players don't.
So the reigning champions behind. There could be two here if Linda Sauer can make up the ground. She does, but I think it'll be a goal kick, just cleared into the right winger. And Uganda really have to lift now. All good to soak up pressure and play on the counter at 0-0, but once you're 1-0 down, the equation changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, they really have to find a solution to this high press.
Seems as if the crowd in attendance are rather disappointed by the Australia taking the lead. I think it's a rather partisan Ugandan crowd, as we found out.
100%.
Yari sends it forward towards Alexia Niamila, but she can't bring it under her spell. It's back to Australia's goalkeeper in Alvarenga. Souza, nice feet under pressure from the midfielder. She's been key. She will get the throw in. She's covered a lot of ground, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's been up and down the field all day. Australia playing with so much composure, especially out from the back. Oh, bicycle kick.
Morris tried to flick it on, but didn't quite go in the right direction. Australia win it anyway. Ramsey Fasawa, who tried to spin and first touch let her down. Hepton elects to keep the ball in play. And swung forward, and it's a difficult bounce, but Turnbull once again very calm in the back line. Seems to have the skills of a midfielder playing at centre half.
Yeah, definitely.
Player who hasn't quite got into the game yet, Nouria Mohamed Zia, was standout of last year's tournament. If they can get her the ball more often, then perhaps Uganda stand a chance. Ramsey, Zia putting the pressure on. And she wins it.
Here she is.
Sends it down the line for Hepton.
They'll win a throw. This is better from Uganda.
Have responded well to going behind. Fatigue setting in among both sets of players. Amounts to nothing in the end, though. Goal kick for Alvarenga and for Australia. Good feet from, I believe it was Julia Budiongo there, the South Melbourne striker. Into the upper arm of Susan. Playing with the sleeves up.
Yep. She looks very unfazed by that hit to the shoulder.
A few more rolling subs to replenish this Ugandan attack. Alexia Yamila takes to the bench. Souza is just winning everything right now. Swapped at least temporarily with Susan Tong. Left back into midfield. Flicked on by Hepton. Nice touch. Just ran into a cul-de-sac there, did Lessa Mielabinge. Christopher with a header. A strong header too. Tong for Australia now. Towards the goal scorer, Linda Sawa. Here's Budiongo. Sawa takes the shot off the post. What an effort.
That would have been an outrageous goal.
Out of nothing, the ball just sat up for her and full of confidence after her goal.
The crowd seemed to be happy about that one.
Linda Sawa nearly scores the goal of the tournament in the final. Now Uganda come the other way, and they have numbers forward if they can find them. And it will be a corner. Even this partisan Ugandan crowd had to sit up and acknowledge the brilliance of that strike from Linda Sauer. So close.
Oh, so close. I thought it was creeping in there for a second, just the wrong side of the post.
Soliana Hebton taking an in-swinging corner for the left-hand side for Uganda. To the near post. Alvarenga just about does enough. Ball coming off her knee and behind for a retake. Goalkeeper didn't know whether to stay or go. In the end, it's away by Australia. Budiongo now. Aveline Kaur puts the ball into touch. Just lost their footing there. Did Anja Qual. Budiongo. Crossfield switch blocked, but it falls to Tong. And now Christina Souza out to left back. The chance. She plays it out wide. Early shots from Morris. And well held by Emanuela Soma, but Australia at every opportunity now looking to test this goalkeeper. The referee has stopped play. And I believe it's issue with the ball. Second, we thought we were blowing for half time.
Yeah.
Don't know if that helped or hindered the long-range attempt.
Yeah, that was a good kick.
The referee taking a very informal drop ball there and just...
Taking it upon herself to get in the game.
Always good to get an early touch as a referee.
Yeah, some...
It's a poor clearance from Soma. Now Budiongo can make life difficult for
a lot of
Gloria
pressure.
Christopher. Great pressure. Wins the ball off both centre-backs, does she? Not quite. Excellent hustle from the South Melbourne forwards. And Anief didn't know how much time she had. And that's a nice touch from Miela Bingay. Frustration from the crowd as one goes too long, and a bit of acrobatics from the goalkeeper to avoid the touch.
Keeper's happy with a goal kick here.
You want to know where your goal is playing a dummy like that.
That was a bit risky. We have seen a few go in with back passes in the A-League this season. So
yeah, always better to play a back pass outside the width of the goal.
definitely.
It'll be a free kick for Australia. Getting towards half-time now, Alex. What would you be saying to your teammates if you're on Team Uganda at the moment?
I think trying to keep possession, get a few passes in to exhaust, all of the high pressure from Australia would be the first thing. Trying to keep the ball, a couple passes here and there, then move. I think at the moment they're just trying to get away from the pressure as fast as possible, and coughing up easy possession opportunities in Australia just keep coming back. So I think that would be the main point at this stage.
Always playing that pass in behind straight away,
Yeah.
very direct. It's just not always coming off. Seen a lot of heavy passes go through to the goalkeeper or behind for goal kicks.
Yeah, and Australia are reading them every time.
Guess it only takes one.
It does, that's
Playing on
true.
the shoulder. Budiongo back to Tong. Out to Christina Souza. She's got Morris on the left-hand side. It's into her favoured right, past two players. Back to Souza for a very ambitious long-range try, which might fall here. He's in play for Budiongo. Maybe I'm not giving her enough credit. Maybe it was an outlandish outside of the foot pass, Alex.
I think she did have an eye on goal there, but look, I would claim it as well. I'd claim it as a through ball.
Ramsey. Tough bounce for her, and now it's Zia. Skips past one defender, but just can't keep the ball in play, and there've been tantalising glimpses of her talent throughout the first half.
It definitely has.
And that will be a free kick. Late challenge there. Slight clip on the ankles. Seems as if Australia have a bit of a physical advantage as well in this game, which is faring them well in these kind of conditions.
It really is. They're dominating the midfield at the moment, and every time the ball goes anywhere near the goal, they are going absolutely for it. So
Morris, early ball, looking for Budiongo. She's done a lot of running, even in limited minutes. Soma does come off her line that time. Encouraging to see from the goalkeeper. Morris skips past and unleashes, but one's well wide of the near post.
Not a bad effort there.
And the referee calling for half-time here. The African Nations Cup Women's Grand Final. And it is Australia with a well-deserved advantage going into the break. Linda Sauer opening the scoring. Simple tap in, really. Right place, right time after a rebound off the goalkeeper. Australia have also cracked the woodwork. The goal scorer again unleashing for an acute angle and hitting the inside of the post from well over 20 metres. But it remains 1-0 at half-time. Alex, before we go to a break, your thoughts on the first half?
I think I'm surprised with Australia being able to sustain the pressure for the whole 45. I know there was a drinks break in there, but they have been, they want to win. They're getting their revenge from last year, and I think this is going to be really important halftime chat for Uganda to see what they can do to stop that in the second half.
We'll take a short break here on the commentary. For FNR Football Nation Radio and for the Football Empowerment Facebook page, I'm Josh Parish alongside Matildas and Melbourne Victory star Alex Chidiac. We'll bring you the second half of the Women's Grand Final of the Football Empowerment African Nations Cup in a moment. Stay with us. I thought it was halftime, but it's just a long drinks break.
Very long drinks break.
We're back here for the grand final of the Football Empowerment Women's African Nations Cup. It's 1-0 to Australia. Australia continue to put the pressure on. It's in for Morris, but the flag is up. This one won't count. She finds the back of the net. Great finish. Linesman's flag up early. Josh Parish here for FNR Football Nation Radio alongside Alex Chidiac. Uganda looking for a response before half-time. That challenge goes awry for Australia. Can't quite take advantage. Australia seem to have rung the changes during that elongated drinks break. Danny DeMartos is on here and she's putting herself about. Fresh legs off the bench, crucial in this one. Both teams battle against the hot conditions. Candid throw taken quickly. Great ball for Morris. It's been outstanding all half. A perfectly timed sliding challenge from Adelat Otto. That is the platonic ideal of a slide tackle, Alex.
I think I need to ask her for some tips on that. That was perfect.
Draws a roar from the crowd, Adelat Otto. With that majestic sliding challenge, but they'll still have a corner to defend here, Uganda. Christina Souza again charged with corner taking duties. 6 in the box here for Australia. It's in dangerously. Uganda have to be careful not to give away a penalty. They were pretty forthright with their pressure on the ball there. Australia maintained possession. Diana Ramsey for Constantino. And a slice clearance from Gloria Christopher will lead to another corner.
Australia do not look like they're slowing down at all with that pressure. I think definitely helps being able to have subs rolling in and out.
Souza plays it in early. Gloria Christopher doesn't get the mileage she would have liked on that header. Knocked away by Bahari for Uganda for a throw. Back with Marshall. Souza. The defensive intensity from Uganda has just ticked up a notch after that break. Just needs some more accurate passing to match and get their ball to a talented forward line. Cooper into trouble. And now Constantino can play in the cross. The back post, she was looking for Danny DeMartos. And Budiongo can't make up the ground. Another change for Australia. It's a dangerous position for Uganda to be in, trying to play the ball out from their own corner, but the ball breaks their way. Martos onto the second ball. Zia picks up the loose one, but Christina Souza in the way of the pass. And it's launched unceremoniously skyward. Budiongo brings it down. Ramsey. That's going to trickle all the way through to Alvarenga, but I've just noticed we've got a player on the Australian team with a makeshift number on her back, which is fast
the tape
falling off.
Yeah.
Shades of Brisbane Roar in the Asian Cup qualifiers. See if we can identify her. Right, process of elimination. Bear with us. And that looks like it is indeed half-time. This time for real. So both teams go back to their benches. Uganda still trail, and Australia still with much of the forward momentum. Uganda need to rally somehow. We'll take a short break here on the live stream for Football Empowerment and FNR Football Nation Radio. Josh Parish and Alex Chidiac here for the African Nations Cup Women's Grand Final. The halftime score is Australia 1, Uganda 0.
the UGs as well. Check 1, 2, 3. if you just join us, it's just second half. Melbourne between Australia versus Uganda women's team. Welcome to AFRICON 2022.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so don't worry too much about
We'll just, because I turned it off, I paused it when there was a break.
If you're wondering where this great music is coming from, it's from a brother named Distant Future. He's in the front of the crowd here, local artist. You know what it is, let's go.
Yeah, all right. Sorry. Yeah.
That's Distant Future. Go on your Spotify and add this song. Give me a try. You know what it is, let's go. Like I said, the second half, between Uganda and Australia. And the main event is next. You know what it is. Check 1 2 1 2. I said mic check 1 2.
And we're back here for the second half of the African Nations Cup Football Empowerment Women's Grand Final between Uganda and Australia. Australia leading 1-0 at the break. Finish, Linda Sawa. For a rebound off the goalkeeper, Emanuela Soma, who, much to her teammate's chagrin, did not come off her line to intercept the through ball. The champions now with a hill to climb in the second half. Had a little bit of a cool change here. Benefited us and the players alike. Josh Parish here alongside Matildas and Melbourne Victory midfielder Alex Chidiac.
That's an opportunity here.
Big opportunity here for Zia. She puts it onto her right foot. Big save, Alvarenga. Uganda's best chance of the match by far. Showed her turn of pace there. Nuria Mohamed Zia. There she is again.
Uganda have started off flying.
Maybe a spirited halftime team talk. Still ringing in the ears of these Uganda players. Have to watch. Guard against this counter-attack. Danny DeMartos, substitute, has stayed on the right-hand side. Had a number of new players introduced into the contest at halftime. Amy Day coming on at right fullback. Shazil Day's effort to bring that one down was skewed straight to the goalkeeper. Now here's the commentator's dilemma. We've got a player wearing 22 who I don't believe was wearing number 22 in the first half.
Great.
doesn't look like Nikki Constantino to me. Maybe I'm mistaken. We'll just have to go with it, I suppose.
Have we figured out who's the duct tape player?
That mystery still eludes us as well. Here's DeMartos for Australia. Just muscled off the ball by the Ugandan captain, Gloria Christopher. There's no mistaking her on the pitch with the bleached blonde dreadlocks. Her goal kick ends up going further than one might have expected through a pack of players. DeMartos. The pass falls short. Chance for Uganda. It's picked off by the rampaging Marshall, who might go herself here. The centre back on an adventure, and it's well saved by Soma.
What a shot and what a save.
My goodness, what
Running
a
all the
run.
way from the halfway line, picking it up.
It's the kind of enterprise you want to see from your centre halves. The strikers can't finish.
Go on and run yourself. Do it yourself.
What's your reaction in the game if you see one of your defenders wildly out of position, getting a nosebleed in opposition territory?
I love it as long as one of my midfielders covers.
Preferably not you.
Yeah, preferably not me. I would like to be up there joining my defender in that case.
Sousa with the ball in. It's behind for a Uganda goal kick, but what a start we've had to this second half. Chances at both ends. Nuria Mohamed Zia, all her own work, dribbling through one-on-one. Couldn't find a way past Sophia Alvarenga, who covered her angles well. And then the rampaging centre-back, number 6, Danny Marshall for Australia, drawing a fine save out of Uganda's goalkeeper, Emanuela Soma. Still, it's 1-0. The team in yellow, the Australians. Work by Hempton. Fall here for Alice Cooper. A swing and a miss. The number 9 had it on a plate.
I don't think she was expecting that one.
See by her reaction, she's so frustrated with herself for not making the connection she was looking
Big opportunity.
for. That's the lesson. Always expect the defender's going to miss it. Always prepare for that. Christopher sees that one behind. Shazil Day out-muscled by Navleen Kaur, who wins the throw-in for Uganda. To Hebton, who's had some really bright moments in this game so far, the number 17 on the right flank. Excellent dribbling ability when she's able to find a pocket of space. It's a game of territory at the moment for Uganda as they work their way up the right-hand side, inch by inch.
Good tactic.
It's a bit like American football. I think they've got another first down here. Either player giving an inch there and in late on Arefa Alayari. Jennifer Lopez, number 16, escapes without a booking, but that wouldn't have tickled that challenge. Uganda with an opportunity to put the ball in the box. It's a difficult angle. And Zia takes it all the same and a great delivery. No Ugandan player where the ball fell. Yari lost out. Ramsey applying the pressure. Falls to Anna Duong and now to Jazeel Day. Chance for a counter-attack. She skips past Anieth. Australia building promisingly now, but pass off the mark. Now Hebton to slip one through. Kello chasing it down, but Souza got there first. Calmly done by Australia.
Very
there.
calmly done.
As we say that.
Yeah. Commentators curse.
But we're accounted at the back. They've had the composure, which has maybe been the difference between the two teams.
Yeah, it's been a huge difference. You see every time they get the ball, they're trying to look for players to get on the ball in dangerous areas and progress up the field. But I think Uganda are still going with the tactic of trying to get in behind Australia, and they definitely have the pace to do that, and opportunities have come from that. So
I think Nuria Zia has just been winded here, looks like. Caught one in the ribs. Certainly want their playmaker to continue it. Looks like she will. Sucking a few big ones first, though, on this hot day. Assertively done by Yari. Aerial jewel, and this is position. Good challenge from Cooper.
you can see both teams are really throwing everything at it.
No shortage of physical commitment here as Anieth tries to get the beating of Souza. It's a struggle between two very tall players, but Souza's had the edge all day. And Zia nipping in. She can't find Okello. Another of the players introduced at halftime. Zari loses out today. Constantino now. Calmly done by Uganda, and they get it into the feet of Hebton. Tries to turn, but only straight into Marshall. And Australia call for another change. Looks like Constantino is coming off. Budiongo back up front. She's got the searing pace and the physicality to keep the Ugandan defence guessing as they try to get back into this one. Captain Gloria Christopher moving to right back to take this throw. Marshall heads away. Tomatos can't get there. Now Zia. Cooper. Fatted clearance from Anja Qual draws a cheer, but straight to the goalkeeper again, Sophia Alvarenga, who's had a lot of touches today, but not too many of them saves. Yari just ditching a wristband, I think, in the turf. The intensity picks up a notch in this final. Dematos. Budiongo with the wall pass. Dematos finds Budiongo again. No flag. Holds the ball off Christopher.
Big opportunity here.
They get the delivery in from White. Aveline Kaur always favoured. Natural. Corner for Australia now. Chance to double their advantage. It's played short for Jazeel Day, whose shot is wide of the near post.
Jazeel Day has been very, very lively all day. I think coming out of that halftime break has given her an extra spark too.
Men's grand finalists. doing a lap of the field and garnering a few cheers and high fives from the assembled crowd. That's coming up straight after this one. South Sudan taking on Kenya. Should be a cracking contest. Hampton, lovely skill. Great ball for Cooper. It just falls down at the last. That move for Uganda was really promising, but Zia might nip in. Great touch from Zia. Disguised through ball. Just too heavy.
That was a lot better from Uganda. Catching out Australia, trying to play composed.
Lessa Milabinge there. Looked to be through on goal, but just evaded her run. Get the feeling that if Uganda's going to get back into this one, at least from a chance creation perspective, it's going to come from one of Hebton or Zia.
Yeah. Got a drinks break. The sun has come out again. We thought it was going away. Half time, we gave us all a break and then popped back up again.
Wishful thinking on our part. That cool change yet to materialise here at Ralph Reserve, home of Western Suburbs Football Club. In the heart of Melbourne's West, here in Sunshine. Where many of this community are based. Always such a celebration, grand final day of a tournament that runs throughout January. Group stage, knockout rounds. Coaches have had plenty of opportunities to deliver their team talks with 2 drinks breaks per half, Alex.
Yeah.
Is it helpful or is it more irritating when the coach is continually giving you instructions during the game? I'm not asking you to name a specific coach of yours, by the way.
Name some specific coaches. I can kind of go either way. I think when it's hot, I definitely love going in for a quick chat. But I think these are quite prolonged as well. So it might take away from what the players are thinking in the moment. I mean, they have to go out there and just give it their all. It is a final. There's a lot to play for. But it'll be interesting to. I wish I could hear what they were both saying.
I always needed to be yelled at in the heat. Brain sort of
Run.
switches off.
Yeah.
You need the instructions, and the talk on the field is crucial.
Yeah, the talk between players is definitely crucial, especially when you're tired. You just need that extra encouragement to keep going.
Who are the real leaders you've played with, the talkative ones who are always in your ear on the pitch?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, I mean, when I was in Spain, everybody was talking, but I didn't necessarily know what was going on. But that was probably the most talkative team in terms of players and coaches as well. It's constant throughout the whole match. Like, our coach got a workout in every game, like yelling, sweating. He had to change his shirt at halftime. Very, very intense.
This is when you were playing for Atletico Madrid in
Yep.
La Liga.
Yeah, that time, yeah. And yeah, and also on the other side in Japan, the coach is silent.
Really?
Silent, yep.
Just lets you get on with it, I suppose.
Yep, hands behind his back, just staring. At halftime, once again, I don't know what's going on. It's a couple words here and there, but definitely different approaches.
Assume he's saying, get the ball, score.
Get the ball, score a goal. Yeah, I always like to assume that that's the case. If I don't understand, that's probably what I'm going to try and go for.
Catch my co-commentator, Alex Chidiac, playing for Melbourne Victory the rest of this A-League women's season. When's your next game?
Oh, we don't know. I think it's the next scheduled game is the 6th of February in Wollongong against Wellington.
Right.
But yeah, we've had 3 games postponed in a row, so we've had quite an extended break.
Well, just as well, gives you a chance to come out and do this.
Yes, exactly.
just about back underway.
There's a lot of talk going on with a group of the Australians trying to work out the best way to finish off this game.
I think Uganda are just keen to get back underway.
Yeah. Especially after the few chances that they have had.
So it'll be Christina Souza as the discussions continue in the Australian backline for the strategy for the final half hour or so of this one. Changes in the backline with Emma Turnbull retaking her place. Danny Marshall has gone to the bench. In fact, actually, I think she stepped into midfield, I should say. Well, given
Rewarded after that run through the centre of the park and shot.
Maybe that was what she needed to prove to the coach. Put me further forward, coach. I can score. Australia's best opportunity of the half, perhaps, on their centre-back. Uganda on the attack, though. Good slide challenge from Emma Turnbull. We've seen a couple of good ones today.
We definitely have.
Still think Adelaide Otto is probably the outstanding example of that so far.
That was all class. Good opportunity here with the corner.
Uganda still searching for that equaliser, the reigning champions.
If I was them, I'd be getting more in the box.
Only 4 players there. I'd be worried about the second goal that might kill the contest. Zia. No way forward for Zia, and now it is Marshall striding out with the ball and spreading it for DeMatos. Into the feet of Budiongo. Skips past Gloria Christopher. Budiongo might have a shot herself. Straight at the goalkeeper. Follow-up is wide. What a chance for Australia.
It was a great save. Keeping Uganda in it.
Manuela Soma might have been culpable for the goal, but she certainly made herself big there and made the angle tough for Budiongo. Souza attacking the ball with purpose yet again. Will trickle out for another goal kick. Zia. And the pressure from Budiongo forced backwards. She can't find Cooper at a tough angle, and Jazeel Day will take the throw in quickly.
Australia really applying the pressure once again.
So Uganda have tired. Tong. To Diana. Oh! What an effort from Diana Ramsey. Strikes the woodwork once again. That's twice they've hit the post, Australia, in this one. Another spectacular effort from outside the box.
Edging closer and closer to that important second goal to seal this game off.
Budiongo offside. Just saw the reaction there of Afika Bahari just waiting on the ball and gesticulating with their teammates to provide an option.
Yeah. It seems like that's been the issue all day. It's been really difficult for Uganda to get on the ball in the midfield, to find options there.
Excellent ball forward into space. Here's Zia. cuts inside. She's fouled. And Uganda will have a free kick in a promising shooting position. Great skill again from Nuri Azir.
This has got to be a shot.
And there seems to be no doubt as to who's taking it. Arefa Alayari, straight across to take responsibility. Saw a goal from the men's semi-final in almost this exact position. Keeper trying to guard the right-hand side. She could go near post here. Arefa Alayari, and that's over the crossbar. Always sailing over. Didn't get the dip she was after.
That's how quickly things can change, though. A few good passes through the midfield, run down the line, cut inside, and a free kick in a dangerous position.
Still so delicately poised at 1-0 here. Australia with a couple of big chances. Come very close to doubling their advantage, but Uganda still with some fight left. Ramsey makes the most.
It's dangerous.
Tough bounce, and
Dangerous for
Australia,
Uganda here.
they've got an option in the middle. It's Budiongo on the ball. She tries to go herself. Feeling for the penalty, I think, but
Almost could have gone down there. I
Yeah.
definitely would have.
got to win the ref over somehow. Got to let them know. It was only really a half-hearted appeal, I think. Maybe she wasn't quite loud enough to get her teammates' attention, but Susan Tong was completely unmarked in the middle.
Yep. Backline caught up near the halfway line. Too difficult to get back, especially in these conditions.
Seems to be a bit of an injury worry for Christina Souza now, which would be a massive blow for Australia. She's been a brick wall since she's moved to left back.
Yeah, I think she's been best on park for me today. Creating many attacking options and then getting back in defense to do the job every single time.
Not sure if it's heat exhaustion or some sort of muscle injury, but certainly the coaching staff paying her close attention now. So the referee comes over to check on the number 7, and we'll go to a drinks break. Still, the inquiries go on as to the welfare of Christina Souza.
It's hard to see from here.
Players crowded around her. Now, match stewards and officials going over as well.
I think it's looking a bit more like heat exhaustion. They don't seem to be treating an injury.
Seems to be more talking to her than maybe applying an ice pack to the head. Maybe explains the real concern for Christina Souza, who has given absolutely everything in this match. She's covered the most ground of any player, won just about every 50-50 challenge. We're back underway here. Perhaps an opportunity for Uganda with one of Australia's best on ground sidelines. Deanna Ramsey cracked the woodwork a few moments ago with a long-range effort. Referee just doing a quick count of the number of players on the pitch. Always a challenge when there's rolling substitutions. All correct by my count. Wouldn't stay in play for Naveline Kaur, who's moved further forward out of defence now. Marshall.
Looks like Marshall's dropped back in that back line.
Maybe a sensible move, considering you've just lost one of your better defensive players. Always good to have those versatile defenders who can sort of slot anywhere, holding midfield across the back line, and Marshall's certainly one of those. Marshall for Ramsey.
Some composed play.
It's turned over now. And Bahari loses out to the second challenge from Lopez. Uganda in the second half, they're not letting Australia play out quite so easily.
No, they're playing a lot more pressure, doing a better job at stopping their attacking play for sure.
Andrew Quall lines up a long-range throw. Hits the target, but will be handball against Naveline Kaur. Since she was controlling it, hit her forearm, just beside her buddy. A bit harsh, I think, but no complaints from the number 4.
Australia in no real rush to take this.
Great distance on the kick from Marshall. Gloria Christopher read it well. Hebton. Nice touches, but the pass lets her down.
It's a great ball.
Now there's a problem here for Uganda. It's Budiongo, saved again. And Tong on the follow-up, just over the crossbar.
Celebration from the keeper there. Brilliant.
Manuela Soma has every right to celebrate after she stopped another Julia Budiongo one-on-one.
Since Budiongo's come on, she's had 2 really, really good opportunities to finish off this game, but Uganda still has a chance. There's still time left.
Might be her issue as well, playing for South Melbourne. She always gets into goal-scoring positions, but her finishing has sometimes let her down in the past. Susan Tong wins the throw, and Turnbull going over to left back to replace the stricken Souza, who seems to be okay now. She's setting up an attentive on the Australia bench, which is good to see.
Marshall again, going on a run.
Gaining territory. Centre back? Not sure. Good cover from Turnbull, though. Seems to be a good understanding between those two players, regardless of which positions they're occupying.
Yeah, the back line has had a lot of communication throughout the game.
South Sudan getting a cheer as they walk past. men's grand final coming up as soon as this one finishes. We have the presentations. Trying to win the tournament for the first time, South Sudan up against Kenya, who breezed their way through to the grand final on Sunday with a 4-0 demolition of Djibouti. Still got one to settle here, though. Lopez with the throw. Picked off. Tom can't clear it, and it falls to Soliana Hebton. Turnbull in the way yet again. Good feet from Morris. The step over. And another great slide tackle to add to our glowing collection this afternoon.
We could have a highlight reels of slide tackles today, I think.
It might fall here for Budiongo. Shout for a penalty, but referee says all ball. Going on a little bit of an adventure of her own was Adelaide Otto. She checked it back inside.
Marshall again. Another run. I think there's a shot in here.
Striding forward, and she's continued her run. They play the 1-2. Looking for Sawa. And Sawa, who's scored the only goal in this match so far, just didn't get purchase on that shot she had previously. 2 of her attempts. Headed by Morris. Budiongo running on the blind side. And now she's got it again. If Australia are going to seal the game, it might come through her. She's beaten to the ball by Gloria Christopher. And
Great tracking back to win the throw.
she's worked so hard.
You can tell she wants a goal. Very deserving.
She's got that selfish streak in that work ethic that only the best strikers have. Sawa with, we could flick on. Otto hoofs it forwards. And that's a great ball by Zia. Into the danger zone. That corridor of uncertainty behind the defence, and Marshall couldn't get it clear. And now it's Cooper on the angle, and it's wide. Alice Cooper with a great chance for Uganda.
That was so close.
It was a really good hit as well, going for that near top corner.
That's how quickly something can change like that. It looked like Australia were super comfortable. And then it's just one break, one opportunity, and the game can change like that.
It was Nouria Mohammed Zia's ball that put so much uncertainty in the minds of those Australia defenders. Even Danny Marshall couldn't get that one clear. But again, a Ugandan chance goes begging. On a knife edge. This women's final is another player goes down, and they'll make the substitution with left back stepping off the pitch on the near side here. Tomatos. It's past the substitute, but no way past Otto. Lopez. Diana Ramsey. That one short of its target. Chance for Uganda to pounce. Turnbull getting in the way. Now they've got numbers back, Australia. Cooper. Back to Christopher. Finds Hebton. Good turn under pressure. And now it will fall for Bahari. Tries to take on her opposite number. With a step over. Leaves Lopez struggling for grip on this dry surface.
The crowd is really pushing for Uganda now.
Yari in a long-range effort. Alvarenga set herself and is never going to be beaten from there. hopeful intake of breath among the Uganda supporters who are here in number. Budiongo drives. 3 defenders getting in her way. That's what it took to stop her. Christopher's header, only as far as D'Amatos for Australia. And Budiongo's in space now. And Otto had to get across very, very quickly to stop her effort. Surely would have been on target. Now Tong with the cross in. And gathered by Soma.
Good hands by Soma.
She looks wide with her distribution. Finding Bahari in space. Hebton is always presenting between the lines now, but that pass was off the mark. Turnbull. D'Amatos. Chested down by Core. It's getting scrappy and desperate now, this game. With the title on the line and 35-degree heat. What else would you expect? Susan Tong's touch eludes her. It looks as if we might see Christina Souza back into the contest now. If they're going down through overheating, I guess, heat stroke, she's
further up the field as well.
She steps into midfield to replace D'Amatos. That's a big boost for Australia if she's good to go. Tong, early ball, looks for Morris. Seen out by Bianca Tombra, the newly arrived Ugandan substitute. Otto has options out wide from this goal kick. She finds Hebton, excellent ball. Bahari can't get there. And Lopez up to Budiongo, good flick. Here's Sawa. Feet from her, but can't beat the second challenge. Tong will happily see that out for an Australian throw.
Australia are really pushing for that second goal.
Been a good spell for Australia, but Uganda have shown through the likes of Zia and Hebton they can create chances. Cooper running out of room and tumbles into her own bench. Tong winning the ball. Warrior Christopher will play this one safe. Nearly knocking down a couple of spectators.
Into the spectators.
See, it's absolutely packed here because you would not be standing in the sun as a spectator unless you absolutely had to. It's full up on this near side. Whole grandstand packed out for this final.
Another great slide tackle.
Great strength. And that's it. Australia can barely muster the energy to celebrate. But they are African Nations Cup champions after a battling, exhausting, desperate final. It was the first half goal from number 19, Linda Sawa, which decides it. Australia 1, Uganda 0. But both of these players have put in such a huge effort in trying conditions, Alex.
Massive effort. That's amazing that they're still standing upright at the moment. But I guess the excitement from the Australian team that they've won, they've got their revenge from last year, and it wasn't without a fight. Uganda kept pushing. They had those opportunities. It could have gone to extra time again. But you have to say Australia definitely deserved it today. They put on a show and they had so many opportunities, hitting the woodwork twice. It was a great display of football.
Absolutely deserving winners. Australia get their revenge for last year's final. They are the champions. Alex, do you have a tip for man of the match? Or, sorry, player of the match, I should say.
Player of the match.
There's so many contenders out
There
there.
are so many contenders. I mean, Marshall at the end there, she was really putting her name up for it. I think if that run through the middle and goal came through, I think that would be her. But I've got to say for today, Christina Souza was still my standout. I mean, she came off briefly, but all day was fighting for absolutely everything. And I think that, she's a big part of the reason that Australia won today.
Oh,
What about you?
Both sets of players have given absolutely everything. I mean, the winners can't even muster the energy for the usually jubilant celebrations after these finals. They are spent, but they have earned it. Australia 1, Uganda 0, the final score in the Women's African Nations Cup Grand Final. Massive thank you to you, Alex Chidiac, for joining me on the call here.
No, thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed it. I got to brush up on some of my commentating skills, but it was great to be out here today, and the atmosphere is like nothing like I've experienced. I wish we had more of this in the A-Leagues for sure. But if you're watching on the stream and you live nearby, definitely pop over and come and be a part of it.
All right, we'll leave it there for this stream. We'll be back very, very shortly. You could see both teams in the men's grand final now warming up. South Sudan versus Kenya coming up. For now, we have a new champion. Australia 1, Uganda 0.